What's up guys, welcome to another video, and it's a pickups video, which obviously during lockdown, not a lot of picking up, it's more getting stuff delivered. As you well have noticed, there's probably not been a lot of pickups videos with people lately, apart from midnight, 3 in the morning shopping on eBay that tends to happen for me at the moment because of the little one that's in my life now. I've got a 3-month-old daughter, Birdie, so yeah, I've got the late night feeds and stuff to get through, and you end up on your phone, you end up buying things. So but stuff I've got to show today is over a good 2 or 3 month period actually since I've last put out a sort of pickups video, and there's not many titles and it's not really retro, but it's all Nintendo stuff, so I thought I'd do a video anyway. Worth talking about some of the titles that we got. I'll start with the... okay, actually there is one retro game which now completes my complete inbox original Super Mario Bros. Trilogy on the NES. I picked up number 2 and 3 in very good condition for number 3, and then superb condition for number 2 at Revival last year, so 2019 Revival. And it's always a risk buying on eBay, sort of complete inbox, because you know photos deceive a little bit, don't they, sometimes with quality. But I was pleasantly surprised. It's not in perfect condition. You know, there's a little bit of creasing around the side, but it was nice that it came in a protective case. I wasn't even aware of that when I purchased it, so it's nice to get the protective case. Comes with instructions, not its original white insert box, but I can get a follow-up for that. They'd actually filled it with little pieces of polystyrene to sort of pad it out, which is a nice touch really. But yeah, complete inbox otherwise, and obviously I'm happy to fill the cardboard inserts on the inside, but just really nice to have that in the collection. You know, I must own Super Mario Bros. Over various formats 1,000,001 times, but to help me with my quest for every complete inbox mainline Super Mario series, it's nice to get the first 3 ticked off now, because I've got a lot of the latter games, you know, Switch, Wii U, Wii, as far as mainline ones go. Now I've got the originals from the NES. Need to work on their middle ground ones in Mario 64, Super Mario World. I've got cart only, so obviously I need to really buy the box incomplete, because it'd be hard to find just a box on its own of that. Mario Sunshine was obviously, that's always going up in price, so Rob probably should pick that up soon. I mean, that's technically the main line, but then you've got your Mario Lands and your Yoshi's Island, stuff like that. I mean, where do you stop really as in main Super Mario Bros. Series? I'll have to speak to some of the Mario community about that to really get a gist of what they say counts as that. How are we getting with that game? Oh, it's on the Streets of Rage. Press any button. Okay, I'll press a button. Don't think it's going to show me a demo or anything. You probably can't even really see that. I mean, that's technically a pickup recently, but it's obviously a download. Streets of Rage 4. I had a lot of fun with it. Not been able to put in the time I want at the moment, so I'm probably only a couple of hours into it. So I'm only at like stage 4 or 5 after playing. And I played a bit of co-op with Rudy at one of the latter stages. So I'm having a lot of fun with it, but just need to put a bit more time into it. So yeah, that's the one old school game, Super Mario Bros. Got a couple of titles on the 3DS, because it's such a great time to be buying for the 3DS. The games are going dirt cheap at the moment. I'm up to, I think it's about 26 physical games for the 3DS now. Really enjoying collecting for it, and like I say, it's a great time for it. I've got about 6 or 7 more games on my most wanted list. I mean, I'll obviously pick up the odd other one. I've just recently actually ordered a copy of Puzzle and Dragons, and the Puzzle and Dragons Super Mario Bros. Edition. I got that for only £10, so that's waiting to be delivered. But I recently got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Danger of the Ooze, which haven't had a chance to play yet, but it's a bit of an overlooked one, because I think it's more of a... I'm not going to say Metroidvania, because that would be a bit harsh on real Metroidvania games. But it is more of a freedom of the city type brawler, and you know, backtracking and picking things up and opening up other areas and stuff. So reviews for this are actually reasonable, and as a semi-big Turtles fan, I wanted to dive into some of the newer stuff and see what it was all about, and this one came up as one worth picking up. I think I got it for about £6 or something, if that. It was, you know, again, I say complete in box because there really is minimal instructions in these nowadays. I keep my games all in a little plastic 3DS game holder thing, so That's fine. And the other game I got recently was Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate, which obviously a spin-off of the Arkham series that came out on the previous gen, the 360 PS3 era. And it's sort of a 2.5D side scroller. It's not so much just a beat 'em up. Again, I think there's sort of backtracking and stuff to unlock and everything. So definitely worth really spending a bit of time on that. I think there's some little mini bugs that people mention in the game. I know it came out on the Vita as well. I know Rudy picked this up on the Vita, and I think he quite enjoyed it. So yeah, I thought, you know, again, I got this, I think £6-7 at the most. So I was happy to pick that up and add that to the collection. And then we've got a couple of Switch games. One of these, I mean, technically this is actually my wife's game because it was bought for her while we were in hospital waiting for Birdie to come, and that's 2 Point Hospital, which is a sort of spiritual successor to theme park games on the PC and PS1 and stuff. She's put a bit of time into this and really enjoyed it. Again, she's not had a lot of time since, but because she's a fan of The Sims, they thought that she'd like this. So cheers for Nicole and Greg for getting this add to our collection, we'll say. But yeah, it's got good reviews, and if you're a fan of Theme Hospital, sorry, this will be right up your street, and it looks pretty hilarious, to be honest. So I'm looking forward to spending a bit of time on that later down the line. And finally, yet to open it, still got the seal on, and because it'd gone cheap in Argos, I think it's down to £24 or something, is the Shovel Knight Treasure Trove. As you know, for most of the backing music I put on videos, it's from the Shovel Knight soundtrack. And although that I own Shovel Knight physically on the Wii U, and therefore I get all the extra downloadable content, games that came with it, sort of over time, I need to find time to play them, and the Switch is just the best way for me to be able to put time into games, because it's such pick up and play. I can just, you know, I could take it to work, play a bit before I go to work. I love my Wii U to bits, but I've not been able to put the time into Shovel Knight since I bought it a few years ago, and I did put a few hours in there and got quite far in the original, which they're now calling Shovel of Hope, I think is the first chapter of it, you know, the original game. But they've got the 3 other top games, and then sort of the sequel games. So all 4 main titles plus Shovel Knight Showdown, which I believe is kind of like Smash Brothers with Shovel Knight characters. And I've never been massively into Smash Brothers, so I've just not been very good at it. I own a couple of the games, but I'll give that a try. And I can't speak highly enough about Shovel Knight. There's a lot of people, you know, retro gamers who want to stick to just the retro games, you know, in the series they grew up, and don't want to touch the new indie 8-bit, 16-bit sort of style games. But this really is just like a jazzed up NES game, you know, widescreen, can allow more characters and sprites on screen and stuff, and no flicker and whatnot. But it's just such a great throwback, great music, great gameplay, so tight controls. And I thought, you know, why not double dip in a way and get this physical version, because it's no cheaper on the eShop anyway. In the sales it goes about the same price, but to own it physically, and it's one of my favourite games of the last few years. So I'm happy to double dip with stuff like this, and this is kind of like the complete collection set, so it's not like exactly buying the same game. So yeah, that's everything I picked up recently. Probably going to be a while before I do another sort of pickups video, because there's nothing coming out or desperate on my list, or as far as retro stuff goes, you know, other than that, because I really wanted to get that, and I took a risk with getting the I'm wearing the matching t-shirt as well today, that's good. You know, I took a risk by buying it. It looked good. And how much did I pay for this? It was about, I think I got this for £17 in the end, and I thought that was pretty good. But yeah, it's always a risk buying the complete in box stuff. That's, you look at the especially on eBay. So you know, I prefer to buy from like London Gaming Market or places like Revival or Nottingham Gaming Market, because you get to see the quality and what's actually there and then for that physical thing. So yeah, when it comes to buying the retro stuff, it's when I keep buying the classic Mario stuff, not so much the disc-based stuff, because the cases tend to hold out better than sort of the N64 SNES ones and stuff. But yeah, as far as the old school cardboard box ones, you know, Nintendo basically, it's really better to get them at the events, because you know, you can really see what you're getting your value for money. Anyway guys, cheers for watching. Got a couple of videos coming up soon in mind. Just got to find the time to film them. You know, time is difficult for me. It's not like I've been on lockdown, I've been working, you know, I've been struggled to find any extra time to do content. So I appreciate when you do tune in that, you know, I'm not putting out regular stuff, but you know, we're still plenty up here to come out, so don't you worry. Peace guys, thank you.